विशुद्धविमुक्तोऽहं निराकारोऽहमव्ययः भूमानन्दस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः नित्योऽहं निरवद्योऽहं निराकारोऽहमच्युतः परमानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः शुद्धचैतन्यरूपोऽहम् आत्मा रामोऽहमेव च अखण्डानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रत्यच्चैतन्यरूपोऽहम् शान्तोऽहं प्रकृतेः परः शाश्वतानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तत्त्वातीतपरात्माहम् मध्यातीतः परशिवः मायातीतपरञ्ज्योतिः अहमेवाहमव्ययः नानारूपव्यतीतोऽहम् चिदाकारोऽहमच्युतः सुखरूपस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः माया तत्कार्यदेहादि मम नास्त्येव सर्वदा स्वप्रकाशैकरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः गुणत्रयव्यतीतोऽहम् ब्रह्मादीनां च साक्ष्यहम् अनन्तानन्दरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः अन्तर्ज्योतिस्वरूपोऽहम् कूटस्थः सर्वभूस्म्यहम् सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः द्वन्द्वादिसाक्षिरूपोऽहम् अचलोऽहं सनातनः सर्वसाक्षिस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः प्रज्ञानघन एवाहम् विज्ञानघन एव च अकर्ताहम् अभोक्ताहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः निराधारस्वरूपोऽहम् सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परस्परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम्
Good evening, Hari Om. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come. Let's invoke the power of praying together. Oh. Sato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya Sahana Vavatu Sahanam Bhunakto Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vedvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord, the Almighty, the Omniscient, the Omnipotent, the Omnipresent, who also has the divine name Amitavikrama, to such a magnificent Lord, together we offer our humble-most salutations to seek your grace, your mercy, your love, your affection, your kindness, your benevolence, your poise, your compassion, your strength, your forgiveness. O Lord, please bless us with the divine qualities such as Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti and Mumukshutvam in much more enhanced quantity. This earnest request we are making only and only to understand Thy true self in our very own hearts. We realize that without your grace, nothing can move a wee bit. So we once again beseech in your kind self to help us cross the wheel of samsara and experience your true nature while living. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. today with the divine grace of the Almighty and the abundant blessings of the Guru Parampara. We are on our Divine Discourse number 460 and the Aparoksha Anubhuthi series number 47. On the 20th of January 2026, Swasti Shri Vishwavasunama Samvatsara Uttarayana Hemantaruto Magamasa Shukla Pakshe Dvitiyatithau Bhaumavasare Shravana Nakshatra Siddhinama Yoge Kaulavakarane. On this auspicious day of Tuesday and the auspicious time of the evening, we all solemnly reaffirm the pledge, the oath, the goal that we have decided for ourselves in our lives. Naham karta hari karta hari preranaya hari prityartam. There is only one ordainer in the entire universe, which is appearing as many. Getting established in this truth is the very purpose of my life, is the very goal of my life, and is the very foundation of my life. I again and again beseech in Thy Almighty to make this a living experience to all of us. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody, once again. A warm welcome to all of you. So in the previous session, we were on Pranayama. Ayama is control, Prana is the vital life energy. So, how do you control and how do you moderate this energy? That was about Pranayama, where we primarily spoke about the three major stages in Pranayama, which are what we take in, inhale, Puraka, then we hold, Kumbhaka, and then we exhale, Rechaka. So now, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, he said it's not just about breathing. By the yogic philosophy, it is, yes, it is breathing in these three techniques, in these three stages, where you have different modulations of the breathing technique. And why is that required? To control your mind. Now, the yoga philosophy of Patanjali, it primarily goes about controlling the mind, complete cessation of the mind. And what happens when you completely undergo cessation? So what is that truth within, that supreme truth? It appears. But now the challenge is, do we have that capability in us to control our mind to that extent? Do we have the capability to sit for hours together? So we have to assess ourselves. So now here the choice given to the sadhaks is, okay, you may not be able to do all that, but there is a way for you. What is the way? He says the way is philosophy, Advaita philosophy. Here what do you do? Here a sadhak, see, the intention to gain salvation, nirvana, moksha, self-realization, all are identical in all these sadhaks. But the paths are different. So here, this Advaita sadhak, what he does is, maybe I'm not fit enough to sit for that long, nor my mind has got that capability to hold on, because now after Pratyahara, which is the fifth one, the Pranayama, the fifth one is Pratyahara. There again you are withdrawing your entire senses. That's what we're going to learn today. Pratyahara. According to Ashtanga Yoga, it is the fifth. According to Bhagavan Shankaracharya, it is the 12th. So 3 more will be left. What will that be now? After Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Same in the case of the techniques by Bhagavan Shankaracharya. So next is you have to have a laser beam concentration. How many of us have that? Because we have not been trained. We are somewhere, we have come in between. Somewhere by that good fortune, where we were blessed, Ishvara Anugraha, Deva Pumsan, Advaita Vasana. We got that Vasana, the tendency, by the sheer grace of Ishvara. Somewhere it could be at your 30s, it could be at your 40s, 50s, 60s, some have got even in 70s. Now when that grace came in, and you are now locked, he says, I want to achieve this. But if they say sit for 3 hours, that very aspect will push you down. He says, how can I do that? Now if you start training yourself, you mean to say you're going to be able to sit after another 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the line, your body will get much weaker. And concentrating, laser beam concentration, dharana. And when that laser beam concentration happens, that dhyana, stilling of the mind, as per Patanjali Yoga. And there evolves a stage where what is there within, that will reveal itself. See, such contrast changes we see between the yogic and the Advaitic. Okay, so now we have understood. Just to give you a quick recap about what have we understood so far. Let's take that and know for ourselves where we stand. Okay, now Yama, Niyama. Yama is common. When I say common, it's there in both. Okay, Yama. Don'ts. What you should not do? Ahimsa. Then you should not tell lies. So Satyam, Asteyam, no stealing. Even stealing to the subtle manner where somebody has done a job and a person comes to you and says, oh, I saw the decoration in the temple, you have done a beautiful decoration. You have not done, but mistaken identity, they come and tell you. Now you smile, as you took the credit. That also is stealing. So, ahimsa, satyam, asteyam, brahmacharya. Brahmacharya is holding the potential energies, that's all. Whatever energies you have, where you are modulating those energies, just like you manage your finances, just like you manage your time. So all the energies what we have, now modulating those energies for the sake of the highest goal what you have in life. Then aparigraha. Aparigraha is not trying to possess. See, till the end of your life, what normally do? Possession. So aparigraha. Then niyama, do's. You have to do this. Shaucha. Keep your body clean. Of course, the mind as well. Then santosha. See that you are contented. Let that become a goal in your life. Contentment. Anything you do, be contented. tapaha. Put your body to that kind of tapas. Tapas is burn. Burning is what? Just like when you fast, you're burning your senses. How? They want to eat, they're craving to eat, they drink, but you are saying no. For another 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, 24 hours, I'm not going to eat anything. Tapaha. So build up that. Swadhyaya. Very important. Where you continuously learn. Otherwise this knowledge will slip. Swadhyaya. And then Ishvara Pranidhan. Worship the Lord. Then comes the Tyaga, which is only as per Vedanta. What? Renunciation. Mauna. Next. Desha. Kala. Now all these are Tyaga, Mauna, Desha, Kala. They are as per the Vedantic principle. Now asana is where again common. You have to sit in the right posture. Yama, Niyama, Asana, third one there. So sit in the right posture. Both ways it is required. Moola Bandha, again it's only Vedantic. Where it's saying Moola Bandha is, it's basically locking of the anal. So where you are holding your anal tight and staying in that knowledge. Deha Samyam, again only Vedantic, where you are holding your body steady. Once you pull your anal region, then you hold your body steady. And then drikstitihi, gaze. Where do you keep your gaze? See, you may be looking at somebody, something, someplace, but your mind is somewhere else. So what is the prominent aspect here? Where your mind is, that is prominent. So says keep your mind on the third eye of knowledge. Now we come to the pranayama, which is again common to both. Then pratyahara. Last time we did pranayama. Now today we are going to do pratyahara. Pratyahara is simply withdrawal of the senses as per the as per the Patanjali school of thought. Okay. Now, once we have understood all this, so what we are trying to do is, now when we say Pratyahara, we will read the Shloka and then we'll go into a common comparison. Okay, Shloka number 121. Come. Shri Harim Paramanandam Upadeshtaramishwaram Vyapakam Sarvalokanam Karanam Tam Namamyaham. After offering our salutations to Lord Hari, now the verse 121. Vishayeshu atmatam drishtva manasa chitimajjanam pratyahara savigneyaha abhyasaniya mumukshubhihi. So, to dissolve the mind in the consciousness, knowing the expression of oneself in all the objects is known as pratyahara. So this should be practiced by all the seekers diligently. This is what is told over here. Now, first let's understand what happens, what is the meaning as per the Ashtanga Yoga. Now I am going to give a lot of focus to this particular segment where Pratyahara, Dhyana. Now these are the turning points in our life. As far as if at all you are looking as a serious sadhak, I would call them as the turning points. A reason is Pratyahara is talking about the withdrawal of the mind, which means it's also withdrawal of the senses. Now once you are having control of your mind and senses, then only you will be able to achieve whatever you want to achieve. It's all about the power of your mind. Now imagine you get up in the morning and sometimes you plan your day. I'm going to study this much, I'm going to do some for this much time, I'm going to do my yoga, then maybe I'll take a walk, and then all whatever you need to, you have meditation, then job, and you have designed your entire day. And then at the end of the day you say, what did I think and did I do? Somebody came in, some call came, and then the whole thing went for a toss. Now how did that happen? Because the mind which had taken up what to do was lost by the way. This happens to us frequently. So unless and until we are keeping a tab on what the mind is thinking and on what the actions are happening, now you are doing that as a watcher, as a audit, not as you. Earlier we were all mixed up, but now we know that I am watching this body and this mind. So here, that mind control, that is extremely important. That is what Bhagavan Shankaracharya says as per the yogic philosophy. Now you see, what your eyes want to see something, your ears want to hear something, and of course the skin, as far as the touch is concerned, the nose smells, and then the tongue also, it's addicted to taste. Now all these 5 sense organs, if you see how the actions happen, these 5 sense organs, they do their respective job, and eventually they give it as an input to your mind. See, we don't know how it is happening because we have never thought about it. We are just living our life, that's all. Now you are intelligently living your life. What are you doing? Now you are controlling. You say, let me wait and analyze. How did this go wrong? If you go backwards and you see for yourself that somewhere your eyes took you, your ears, your tongue, so when these inputs came into your mind, now what these inputs do, they, through their respective sense organs, they send a thought to your mind, and there the mind, which is known as a vritti is a modification. You will see the formation of a particular picture of that particular thought in your mind, which is known as a vritti. Now what is this vritti about? With whatever you have been thinking in terms of your sense organ input. Now if you think of, say, food, oh, that particular restaurant, I heard it is very good and I think we should go. See, now who is doing this? That thought came. Then you talk to your spouse, you talk to your friend, you talk to your family, you say, shall we go? And then they said, okay. And you check the time and then, okay, I'm going to book at so and so time. You make the booking and everybody is set to go. Now see, that is where that thought eventually led you to go out in the world and have an experience. Now this vritti, once you have had that experience, then it will say, I want more. Now you can't eat everything the same during one particular visit, so you will say, next time I think we should try this. You decide then and there, because you are not able to eat, you say, this dessert I think we should try it next time, or this particular main course, or the salad, starter, whatever. So now you have made your mind. Now where all this is happening, your senses, they give in the input, and overall that input goes into your mind, and the mind gives you a vritti, and that vritti shatters you. So here in this particular shloka, they are talking about ahara, pratyahara. Ahara means you're feeding. Anything which is coming from outside is ahara. Now, ahara, like in Sanskrit, is what you feed. In many of the regional languages also, ahara means the food which goes in, whatever goes inside. So here, as we know food as ahara, here they are saying this pratyahara, this mind which is feeding you with all that information, there you control. You see something, you see a poster of a movie, and then you say, I think it looks good. So then immediately you go to YouTube and then you check the trailer. 1 or 2 minutes, you will see the trailer. You say it's good. Then you know somebody who must have watched the movie, who are the fan of that particular star. You call them, they said, hey, it was good. Then your mind starts. These are all the vrittis which are happening in your mind. Be it your, or starting from Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. These are the 5 sense organs. Shabda is sound. Sparsha, touch. Rupa, eyes, sight. Rasa, your tongue. And Gandha is your nose. So now what they are driving? They are driving information into your mind. So now as a sadhak, what should our understanding be? Any input which is going into our mind, see whether it is the Dehakara vritti or the Jagatkara vritti. It is worldly input or it is that Brahmakara vritti, which is that godly input. One of these secrets, see now as you practice, you will go ahead and then you will see where is this enlightenment. It's not happening. You know what is in our hand? To reach the stage of maximum Brahmakara vritti. That's all what we can do. And after that, it's an automatic process. After that, you don't have to do anything. Just like a sperm gets planted in the ovary of an egg, gets planted in an egg. So thereafter, nothing is your job. It is the job of nature. There it takes over. In the same way over here, just like a seed is sown in this soil, to that extent you can do, but you cannot make that seed sprout and all those. It's not in our hands. You can only put the seed in the soil. In the same way here, what you can do is go to the extent of having maximum Brahmakara vritti. Or you cessation of your mind. Do you have that strength to sit for hours together in a straight, unwavering pose and calm your mind to the fullest? Do we have that? No. Then here Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, I will teach you. Fill up your mind with this Brahmakara vritti. Cessation, what you see, modifications are happening in your mind. Make it a modification of Brahmakara. Means that divine. So that should be the ahara which you are going to give. A reason he says what? Now Atman, your true self is the Atman, and that is your true nature. And who is the servant of the Atman? Your mind. Because Atman is using your mind over here. It's an apparatus. And the servant of the mind are the senses. But now what have you become? You have lost your identity as an Atman and you have become a servant of the senses. So which means they say, Kinkarasya kinkare kinkari kritaha. So one sadhak, he says, where am I now? I have become the servant of my servants. See, you have a servant. And now the servant is, okay, well-to-do enough. He has another servant. Now you have become the servant of the servant. Imagine what is your plight. You as the servant, where the mind is your servant, the senses are the servant of your mind, but you have become the servant of the senses. So here, know that your true nature is that pure consciousness. And here he says, Pratyahara is do the opposite. Withdrawal. Ahara is taking in. Prati means opposite. Don't take in anything. Swabhishaya asamprayogaha. Now this is what the Patanjali Yoga Sutra says. Tataha swa abhishayasya means tataha, thereafter, as a result of the mastery of Pratyahara, as per Patanjali, swa abhishayasya means of its own objects. Those are the sensory objects what we talk about. Asamprayogaha, in the absence or the connection, non-involvement, because he is controlled his mind. Chittasya means of the mind. Swarupa anukaranam, he says, there the imitation or the reflection of its own essential nature, which is the Atman, will come over here. Now, the choice is ours. Are we in a position to control our mind to that extent, or do we have another easy route? And here see what it says. The shloka, Vishayeshu Atmatam Drishtva. Vishayeshu means in all the objects. Atmatam, expression of oneself. That is, look at your Atma. Drishtva, when you see or realize. So here it emphasizes the word Vishayeshu. What is Vishaya? Object of the senses. Now you see a movie, it's an object of the sense. You see a menu in a hotel, menu card, it's an object of your senses. So you listen to a good music piece, that is an object of your senses. So he says, look at that word Vishaya, which is an object of the senses, break it, Visha. Visha means poison. So these objects of your senses are nothing but poison. So we have to understand the intensity with which Bhagavan Shankaracharya is trying to tell us. See the proximity. Vishaya, object of the senses, is nothing but Visha to a sadhak. Now if you are a sadhak, know that these object of senses are Visha. It will kill you. Means what it will kill you, meaning what? It will take you away from that self-knowledge, that's all. It's not going to do any harm to you. The whole world is now involved in sense objects. Vishayeshu, they are involved. Senses are there, mind is there, and the Vishayeshu, the objects of senses are there. So all these three are in great partnership. But if you are looking at gaining that supreme reality, then consider this Vishayeshu, which are the objects of senses, nothing but Vishaya, because they are going to take you away from your real nature. Slowly you will start losing sight of what you wanted to do. You wanted to gain the strength, meaning the understanding of that Atman. No, eventually it will mean that you have had a spiritual death or spiritual accident. That is the power of this Vishaya, sense objects. So that much importance is given. He prepares you now. In Ashtavakra Gita, there is one phrase, Mukti mithyasi jetata. Now what does this mean? Mukti mithyasi chetatat vishayan vishavat tyaja. Meaning, O beloved one, Tata. Here what he means is, Tata means, O beloved one, if you truly desire liberation, then renounce all sense objects as poison. See, Ashtavakra Gita is a very strong profounder. It says, no. Meaning we have in school, we say, oh, this teacher is very strict. You don't try to have a loose talk with him or her. We say, for newcomers, be very careful. So that way, Ashtavakra Gita is like that. Hardcore, strict teacher. And then it says, cultivate Kshama Arjava Daya Tosha Satyam Piyusavad Bhaja. It says, cultivate forgiveness, simplicity, compassion, contentment, and truth, as if they were nectar, Piyusha, nectar. Visha and Piyusha. See again, he's saying, if you want salvation, consider all the sense objects as Visha. And if you want to progress on this, cultivate all these habits which are going to support you. They are like nectar. So the sense objects are nothing but the manifestations of the Atman, the self, what we call, and the contact with the sense objects is nothing but the contact of the self alone is happening. So he says, then Pratyahara is achieved. So wherever you see sense objects, don't look at it as a sense object of pleasure. He says, look at it as consciousness. This is what strongly Bhagavan Shankaracharya is propagating here. Your mind is going elsewhere. You are not able to first of all sit. And you are not able to do pranayama. Don't worry. Senses are going astray, here, there. Let them go. But whatever they perceive, whatever they experience, in each and every experience, think of Brahman and Brahman alone. What a beautiful way of attaining salvation. If you cultivate this habit, it's only about your mind. Now you have to train your mind. That much we all can do. What are we doing now? So the mind, it appreciates there is existence. In every aspect there is existence. Isness, what we call, light is, dark is, good is, bad is, everywhere. So there is isness, an amount of that what we call as existence. So in every experience, so the mind appreciates existence everywhere. In identifications with the object, we overlook the principle of existence. We go only by the object. When we see something, oh, this is pretty, this is ugly, this is harsh, this is soothing. So we are lost in the overlook the principle of existence. So he says, be constantly aware of the presence of the Lord as existence in every sense perception. And thus what you do, you bathe your mind in the awareness, and that is true Pratyahara. In other words, self-withdrawal. Mind gone somewhere. Look at it. But now say you have tasted something. Now what we do when we taste? Oh, you close your eyes and you say, wow. What do you think? What a nice dish this was. And you may think of what it is made of, or who is the chef, what is the recipe. These kind of thoughts come to you, Here what Bhagavan Shankaracharya is simply saying is, when you have had that divine experience, that massively great experience of experience something good, you just think of the divine. It is because of that consciousness in me, the taste experiencing aspect in me, that awareness in me, I am able to experience this. So experience the divine in the experience. That's all. Now you use this for all the other five senses. This is for taste. Use it for seeing, for hearing, for touching, everywhere. That's what we do when we do puja actually. All your five senses are involved. We see the idol. When we are washing the idol, we have the touch. Then when you do the dhupa, you have the fragrance. Then when you ring the bell, you have the sound. Or you are chanting the mantra, you have the sound. And on these lines, every aspect you are seeing, that your five senses are engrossed. But now what is that? You are still in duality. You are a bhakta and there is Bhagavan. But now here the Lord says that there are no two, there is only one. For that you need to raise your standards. So this is the point which Bhagavan Shankaracharya says, make every experience divine. For that you have to again and again bring your mind back. Now I'll tell you how the mind works. This is one very interesting thing which I heard in my research with respect to psychology. First, I'll tell you about a simple aspect of how to see that oneness. Everything what you see, look at the essence, what we talk, the essence is in other words, the existence aspect. Now say for example, you have vitamin A deficiency, okay? Now the doctor tells you, no, vitamin A, beta carotene, that the body converts active in retinol into vitamin A and all that kind of medical stuff. They say you need to take vitamin A. One is they give you direct medicines, but you say, doctor, can you prescribe some fruits or something which I eat where I can supplement these vitamin A. Now they say, look, mango, papaya, then apricot, watermelon, then red grapes, peach, plum, passion fruit, all these, amla, all these, okay, they say these are good in vitamin A. So you have these. Now, when you are eating these fruits, what is there in your mind? You are eating them religiously. Instead of medicines, you are eating these fruits, not for the sake of fruits, but for the sake of vitamin A. Isn't it? Now, let's say you're talking of, I want vitamin C. I'm short of vitamin C. Immunity is down. My skin is dull. Okay. Then there again you have amla, guava, kiwi, strawberries, oranges, papaya, pineapple, blackcurrant. Now all this, what are you looking at them? You're looking at vitamin C in all these fruits. Simple thing. See, what did you do over here? Earlier also you could have eaten, but now whenever you eat, you look at the vitamins and you eat, isn't it? So that is what we are seeing of oneness. Look at any experience, have that oneness. Now say you have fever, you're feeling weak, which we commonly experience. Now what happens is you go to a doctor and then the doctor prescribes medicines to you. Now, a same medicine to cure your fever and also your body pain. Let's say there are 5 different medicines. For example, Johnson & Johnson has got Tylenol. Then GSK has got Panadol. Then MAPAP, major pharmaceuticals. Asepen by G&W Laboratories. And then QPAP by Quality Test Pharmaceuticals. Now what are these medicines talking about? They are just talking about curing your disease. It's an analgesic, that's all. It's a pain reliever. Now you go to the doctor and if he had prescribed to you say Panadol, GSK medicine, you say, doctor, that's not available, Tylenol is available. He says take, because he is not looking at the name of the company. He is not looking at the packaging. What he is looking at is looking whether this particular medicine, does it have that hydroxyphenol, that is acetamide, which is the medicine prescribed for curing that disease. That's all what he look at. In the same way, what we should do, we should not look at the name, nor the form, nor the price. No, we should look at the innermost aspect, that isness, that existence. Make every experience pratibodha miditam matam amrutatva mindate. Pratibodha. In every experience, you experience that divinity, and that will take you to amrutatva. Viditam matam amrutatva vindyate. Vindyate, it will take you. This is one of the most profound techniques especially for we as adhyatmic sadhak, being in the world, Being in the world. You may be going to a movie, you may be going out to a restaurant, you may be traveling, you may be chatting with friends, but have that vision of seeing this oneness. That is what we need to cultivate. That's all. It's in your mind. Now, once you cultivate that, then wherever you are, however you are safe. You are in the stage of Pratyahara. Almost the penultimate stages of reaching that samadhi. So here I'll tell you one psychological test which I saw how our mind can play a trick on us. So this was in the Dartmouth College of the United States. A professor by name Robert E. Kleck. He was a scholar of human psychology. This happened in the 70s. He collaborated with Angelo Strenta, and he conducted this experiment known as Dartmouth scare experiment. Okay. Now what he did? He called volunteers of different age groups, right from 20 to 60. He made two groups, about 100 in one group and another 100 in another group. Now what they specifically did was, for one group they drew a ugly scar right from the end of your ear till the mouth. One scar, proper scar, they drew on the face, ugly one, and then they showed it to the volunteers, and they said, now this scar which is there, with this scar you're going to go and talk to the volunteers. A general discussion. You could discuss about the weather, you could discuss about politics, you could discuss whatever you feel like. You discuss, and you have to get back to us and tell us how you felt. Now, one group with this scar, ugly scar on the face, he showed them in the mirror, and then he sent them. And another group was, nothing was done. They were as usual as they were, and they were told to meet people. The same set of people, okay? Now, after the discussions happened, they all came back. And one striking contrast report what this research came out with is, all the participants who had a scar on their face, they came back saying that we were discriminated. People were not willing to look at our face, and we were wrongly judged, and in fact we were in a mode of tension, and the other person was he was distant from us, and they said all this because of this scar. Openly they said this. And this more than 90%, meaning more than 90 people out of 100, they said the same thing. Okay. Now, what had happened was, actually the psychologist, what he had done, he had called a very clever makeup man. As he showed them in the mirror, he had applied a foundation, some kind of a lotion. So as he showed them in the mirror about this scar, immediately he was able to take it out as they went. So which means literally they had no scar on their face. So, but this group had believed that they have a scar. So now, what happens to us in our real life? They said, he has believed that I have a scar, and people are talking to me indifferently. They're talking to me with discrimination, badly, poorly, and that's how all their experiences happened. So what we need to understand from this particular research is, our brain is wired with that confirmation bias. It's known as a confirmation bias. I am got that feeling in my mind that I have a scar, I am ugly, nobody is really going to talk to me well. Like say you're a girl, You are talking to a boy over there. When I have a scar, why will you talk to me? To make friends with me? That is a confirmation bias you have already created in your mind. So you know that there is a selective attention happening. So the brain is wired on what you focus now. You are focusing about your scar only. So you don't ever you think, you are not worthy, capable, and that can only make things worse. So what we need to do over here is, whenever we are dealing with anybody, whatever be our state of affairs in life, you have to know that I am established with the divine. Here it was a scar. Here you are taking the positive most aspect where you are saying, I am established in that divine. Have that, that feeling within that I am associated with the most powerful supreme truth of the entire universe. Eventually it is Aham Brahmasmi, isn't it? Have that scar on your face, that positive scar. So this experiment teaches us that what your mind is, what your brain is. Know your brain, understand your mind, and then accordingly you live in this world. So it proved. Now if I am going to give that positive thought to my mind, if you always feel I am finite, I have no real strength, nowadays my health is also not that great, and money is also not coming, it's all stuck here and there. What do I have with me? No, you are playing a role over here. That's it. Your role is, yes, in the movie I am playing the role of a beggar. The producer may be playing the role of a beggar where it is a 500 crores budget movie. He's playing a role. Know that just that person had all the negative tendencies, thinking that it has a scar. You create all the positive tendencies within, knowing that your true self is nothing but that ultimate reality. Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi. See, these are the small techniques which we should adapt. Yes, the text is telling us, but how do I make it happen? Related to science. Put both together and take the positive aspect. With whomever you are discussing. Now this, if you go with this attitude, you will stop thinking negative of yourself. Say somewhere there is a problem with somebody. Whatever. They have heard something that you have said wrong about them, and they said, I want to talk to you, and now they are going to offend you with that. You have to wipe it out of your mind. Don't at all have that thing at the back of your mind, now he's going to attack me on that. Say that I have got nothing to do over here, and I will answer him politely, with patience and with steadfastness. Your whole outcome will be different. When you already have lost within yourself and you go with that kind of a guilty mind, you will never be able to win. So these are the fine tricks which we need to understand over here. So taking it forward, by realizing Atman in all the objects, that's all. In all objects and experience, you have to know that it is Brahman and Brahman alone. So even as we understood, Ashtavakra Gita also is promoting this. He says you have to know that. See, now let's say you're hungry, you want to eat something, you're not getting something. Will you go to the dustbin in the road and pick up something and eat? That much of control we have, that much of sense we have, isn't it? However hungry you are, will you go to that dustbin on the road and pick up and eat? No. So then why are you picking up all the wrong things and putting in your mind and getting into this kind of a mess? So that first is, if you can't control the mind, no issues. Let it go wherever it is going. But understand that whatever experience is happening in the mind, that is nothing but the experience is happening only because of that awareness which is there with me. That awareness has enlivened my senses, and my senses are in interaction with my mind, and my mind is giving that experience. So you have to use your discrimination power over here. That Vedantic discrimination, that Viveka Shakti, what we call, now that is extremely important. So Tadadrishta Swarupe Avasthanam, that is the Yoga Sutra, it says. When you control everything, you will be able to see that divinity within. But now, Vedanta, we are going by whatever we experience. We are not going to control anything over here. Whatever we experience, we will experience it as a divine experience. Now we are listening to, of course, we are listening to the divine. You are experiencing divine. But now imagine you are seeing a movie. Now, how do you experience divinity in the movie? Whatever you are seeing, it could be humor, it could be fiction, it could be fight, it could be anger, jealousy, whatever you are seeing, know that the senses are enlivened by that awareness within you. Once you have that, then you are in that continuous state of divinity. This is the true Pratyahara, what we have to understand. So we'll take up the story today, okay? And one more aspect which we have to understand here is also understand the world to be nothing but an illusion. Illusion in the sense how? It is there now and it is not there after some time. Just as I explained to you that somebody who was very dear to you has passed away. So that was a real life example for us. Now suddenly you see that that person is nowhere you can search him or her. Then what is it all along? Whatever number of years you were associated with that person, it was nothing but an appearance, an illusion, that's all, isn't it? So in the same way, know that this whole thing what you're seeing in this world is nothing like the stuffed dolls in a shop. Once two small children with their parents, they went for a zoo. They went to a zoo. Now at the ticket counter, being a zoo, so there are posters, frames, pictures, and then here and there are stuffed animals. Now the younger child, suddenly it bounced back. It saw an elephant over there. It bounced back. And then the elder son is saying, "Hey, you fool, it is not a real elephant, it is a stuffed elephant." See, that much of sense he had. But the younger one didn't have. So know that in this world, they're all stuffed. Nothing is real. So, if we get that kind of understanding, then entirely whatever your fear, your guilt, your sadness, all this you can overcome. Once I had been to Jaisalmer. That was the first time I had gone to Jaisalmer on a business trip. And when we were searching for a hotel, my staff was saying, "Sir, there is one Taj in Jaisalmer." And I was normally staying in, I was to prefer Taj or an ITC. So they said, "Okay, good." And I didn't know that it was away from the town. And probably they also did not check. We normally think that they are in the city. Now that was about 45 minutes away from the border of the city Jaisalmer. Jaisalmer is not a big town. You had to go deep in the jungle. After I had finished my work, I traveled for almost 45 minutes. And there you go. It was a fantastic property, a huge palace converted into a hotel, which we have seen in most of the places which happens. And there, my room was somewhere on the first floor. It was night and well lit with lights. Hardly any guests over there. I could not see anybody other than the hotel staff. So I went, I freshened up, I came down, had my dinner, and as I was going back by walk, climbing the stairs, the reason was there was no power. Okay, so while I came down, I came by the lift, and now I had to take the stairs. So I slowly went up the stairs, and I saw there was a huge bear over there. It's actually forest. That was standing there right in front, which I had not seen. Now, for a moment it looked like a real bear, but then with your whatever knowledge, you know that it is stuffed. See, the same mind, how it immediately switched. Unless and until you know the truth, you will be in fear. Initially, I didn't know, so I got fearful. I got a jolt. In fact, I literally took 2 steps back, a huge one standing like this. But when I could, how can a bear come over here? Come on. When I put that question to my mind, then immediately I could understand, yes, it is a stuffed bear. So whatever we are seeing in this world, you have to go with that Viveka Shakti to have the right understanding. Otherwise, we will be disturbed. All across you will be disturbed. So this is what we need to get through over here. Now the second aspect which I was talking in terms of the research theory is about, now we all, we are chasing desires. Now we are talking of senses, mind, and being involved in the world. Those are what we call as Jagat Akara Vritti. Jagat Akara. Continuously getting modifications of the mind as per the world, which are chased, which are driven by senses and the mind. Okay, so here an English novelist, Somerset Maugham, he says, if you continuously chase pleasure, very soon you will find nothing pleasing anymore. This is again psychology. Huh? And another great, he's one of the unicorns now, Naval Ravikant. He says, desire is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy till you get what you want. See how we are putting ourselves in a desire, getting entangled over there in that desire and making a mess of our life. So now, what is the meaning of this? You should be matured enough to understand at that some point, desire is something you cannot overcome by fulfilling it. You have to overcome by ignoring it. Now, how do I ignore? Let us understand desire to a much more detailed aspect, because to give up something, you need to know how it works on us. So here there were one psychologist at the Northwest University, Mr. Philip Brickman, and there was a social scientist by name Donald Campbell. Now this happened again in the 70s. Okay, I think 70s were the year where psychologists were doing their job to the peak level. Now here they talk of a hedonic trap. So hedonic trap is what? A treadmill, a kind of a cycle. Now listen to this carefully. You get what you want. Now whatever is told over here, it is your practical experience only. I didn't find anything which is spoken as something I cannot relate to. Because we want to get out of this desire cycle. So you get what you want. Okay. You feel happy briefly. For some time you felt happy. Then eventually you get used to it. And then what happens? You want something more or different. No, I don't want to eat the same thing again and again. Compare it to anything in your life with respect to the touch, taste, smell, hear, see, all that. Okay. I want something more or different. And then you say, repeat. Same thing will happen. So you are trapped in perpetual striving, but without any long-term fulfillment. Is it not our case? Ask a question. So this hedonic trap, they say it refers to a psychological and a philosophical concept where a person keeps chasing pleasures or material improvements but never reaches lasting satisfaction because happiness keeps resetting to the baseline. This is important. Happiness, it resets itself. Again it resets. Again it resets. So are we fools to chase happiness like this? By fulfilling our desires again and again and again and again. So how to overcome desires is by eradicating desires. And this is, I'll tell you, one of the features or qualities of an advanced sadhak. Earlier he may have all the spree to go eat, to see things, to experience things, but he will now start feeling, I want to be alone. If that is coming to you, then you are on the right track. If it is not coming to you, then you are on a hedonic trap. Withdraw. Because first is, if you kill your desire, then what is told in the shloka? Pratyahara. I don't have a desire at all, so where is the question of me withdrawing? Withdrawal comes when there is that urge. Now you have understood that with your Viveka Shakti, you have understood that all this is a big hoax. I don't want to get trapped in this hoax. And you take a call in life that I want to reach something higher. Enough. Do you play with those toys which you played when you were young? Do you do that anymore? You say, no, what's the point now? Does it make any sense in me playing with those toys for a 4 or 6 year old? That much sense we have, isn't it? So that anitya drusheshu viviccha nityam. So in this universe of changing entities, that who pierces through and arrives at the unchanging Brahman or that Almighty in the experiences. Anitya drusheshu viviccha nityam. He is straight looking at this. Tasmin samadatta ihasma leelaya. And then how does he do this? He gets absorbed in that eternal Almighty, that eternal Brahman, that eternal consciousness. How? Tasmin samadatta. He gets. Does he do it with lot of effort? Leelaya. Like a play. Because he has understood now. I am not a child. I am now, you have seen children, no? You still now play with these toys. He said, no, I have grown up. How much he has grown up? He is 7 years old now. He is saying, I am grown up. I want a cycle. What cycle? Not this 3-wheeler cycle. I want a 2-wheeler cycle. I have grown up, he says. So in the same way, Tasmin samadatta ihasma leela, he has understood. Then, viveka vairagya vishuddha chittam. Why it is easy for such a person and not for us? Because his mind is purified by viveka and vairagya. How is it purified by viveka? By constantly doing swadhyaya, listening to the divine texts. Just keep listening. Your viveka will improve and the vairagya. Vairagya is not, just like that child, he gave up the toys. We are giving up all the toys of this world. Enough we have enjoyed. So to such a viveki, yoso viveki, tamaham namami. To such a viveki, the whole world bows down to you. So if you have seen, I have approached this aspect from different angles. One is knowing the importance of desire. How to curb desire? By Viveka Shakti. And then using the hedonic trap It's never going to take you anywhere. And then you know also that whenever you are trying to adopt all these techniques, that your mind plays an important role. So whatever may be the actual thing which is within, you have to override it. That's car story. It may be negative. The people whom you are meeting are not so friendly with you, are not so good with you, but you go with a smile. You go with that openness, that compassion, ready to help, kindness. Go with that and see how things change. But if you are already with that thought that you have jealousy, I have 10 times more jealousy than what you have. You have a grudge, I have 10 times more grudge than you. If you have gone with these, then you are going to get into a disaster. So in the same way, whatever be the situation in your life, know that my nature is that supreme reality. I am not there. It is that reality which is reflected in this body, giving or enlivening the senses, and eventually once the senses, the mind, and the mind creates an vritti, and action happens, and there is an experience. So far it was experience for pleasure, but now each and every experience I know is divine. Just like whatever we are listening is divine, whatever we are eating is divine, whatever we are seeing is divine, whatever we are touching is divine. Have this thought and be established in it. That is true Pratyahara. Okay, we'll go to the study, the story aspect now. Come. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu Idam Namama. I will read the Vishnu Sahasranama Shloka 55. Jivo vinita sakshi mukundo mitavikramaha ambho nidiranantatma maho dadishayontakah. 516 Amitavikrama. Of immeasurable prowess, or one whose step, Vikramaha, meaning step, is immeasurable. Immeasurable means Amita. Step, Vikramaha, immeasurable. So the Lord in his Vamana incarnation measured the three worlds by his three tiny steps, and therefore he gained the title of Trivikramaha. Since the Lord's steps are so vast, they are indeed immeasurable. Amitavikramaha. To such a divine Lord we offer our humble salutations. Om Tat Sat. We chant the Dhanvantari mantra. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutakalashahastaya Sarvabhaya Vinashaya Sarvaroga Nivaranaya Trailokyapataye Trailokyanidhaye Shri Mahavishnu Swarupa Shri Dhanvantari Swarupa Shri 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 Aushadha Chakra Narayanaya Swaha. To the Lord of Health, Dhanvantari, we offer our humble salutations. Om Tat Sat. Okay, so we now take this story. So here, just to give a brief background, I will not take much time. Indra had won a war against the Asuras, and he was seated next to his wife Sakshee on the throne in the heavens. Now all heavenly attendants, Gandharvas, the Apsaras are entertaining, then the Kinnaras, the Maharuts, the 11 Rudras, the Adityas, Ashwini Kumaras, the 33 magnificent gods we so speak about. They are celebrating their victory. Their Kuluguru, Brahaspati, enters and he sees that nobody cares to offer him a seat nor receive him. Nothing. So Brahaspati said, these guys are, now I think the ego has reached their head, so I must go. I don't have a place over here. It's not appropriate. He goes. And he knows that Indra will realize and come. So he decides to see that he's not to be found. Same thing happens. Now Indra realizes. He says, oh my God, without my Guru, where will I, how will I sustain? Because each and every step they take with the guidance of the Guru. And he goes, he searches his Guru Brahaspati and fails. He regrets. I have now lost my Guru. He regrets. Now this news goes all around to the Asuras. Now Asuras know that now this Indra doesn't have a Guru. I must properly, right time to beat him because they don't have a direction. So they attack once again and they massively defeat the Devatas, Indra and his team. Okay, now just like we have seen Indra, now he has lost the battle. He goes to Brahma and he asks for pardon and he says, this is what has happened. Now as we discussed, Brahma suggests him, you have no other choice because no Devat, meaning no other rishis will entertain you. What you have done to your Guru, why will they entertain and know that what your nature is? So the only possibility you now have is you have to go to the Asuras only, which is that Vishwarupa, who is the son of Twashta. Okay? He says, go to them and now you pray to them. But remember one thing, they are Asuras. Given a chance, the contingency here is they will favor the Asuras. But you have no choice. Something is better than nothing. So again, Indra with his Devatas, he goes to the Asura, Vishwarupa, and begs pardon. And as I had explained earlier, he does all whatever gimmicks he has to do to gain his confidence. And then Vishwarupa finally, he said, okay, I know if I keep training you people, my Brahma Tejas will go down because I will not be doing Swadhyaya or Sadhana. All the time I am with you people. But anyway, helping those who are in need is one of the greatest acts. So I will come. And he teaches them the Narayana mantra, which with that he protects them with the Narayana Kavacha. And all the Devatas gain that enormous amount of vitality and they defeat the Devatas. Okay. Now, this much we had seen in our last session. Okay. Now, once a yajna was performed with Vishwarupa and Swaha, Indraya idam Swaha, Varunaya Swaha, all the Devatas, the Havis is being offered. Okay. Now Vishwarupa, who is an Asura now, naturally somewhere he has in his mind that Asuric quality. He tries to offer the Havis to the Asuras. Suddenly Indra knows this. He comes to understand that Vishwarupa has offered Havis to the Asuras. Despite Brahma had warned him that look, this contingency is there and you have to accept. But that time you said, oh, we are ready and all that. You went to him and you got him on board. And now when he did a mistake which you already knew, but Indra could not control. See here, this shows we as humans also, at some point of time we say something, but we don't keep up our word. Why? Because our situation has changed. That is where we can't keep up our word. Same had happened with Indra. He was in a state of defeat. So whatever Brahma told him, he had accepted. But now he has won again. He has got his throne back. He has got all his grandeur back. So he gets angry and he takes his sword and he chops off the heads of Vishwarupa. Why I say heads? Because Vishwarupa had 3 heads. Now the first head was by name Somapitam. He used to drink only that Somaras with that Somapitam. Now that severed from his body and it became a bird by name Kapinjala. Now the head which used to drink Sura, it was known as Surapitam, and that became another bird by name Kalavinga. The third one was Annadam, where he used to eat food with that particular head. So now that bird became Tittiri. Okay. So he had killed a Brahmin, now Indra. So he was now succumbed to the sin of a Brahmana Hatya. So 1 year he suffered. And he requested the earth, the trees, water, that to share this sin, but nobody was ready to share that sin now. Now this Brahmatya made him ineffective for a long run. On the other side, Twashta, who was the father of Vishwarupa, he was extremely angry that these guys came for help and see what they have done to my son. So then he performs a yajna, and there in that yajna he says, arise, O Indra Shatru. He calls him as Indra Shatru. Come out and kill your enemy soon. So now when the yajna was over, there arose from that yajna a dreadful form. Extremely dreadful. How was it? Huge, dark, and not with any kind of a shape or anything, like a cluster of cloud. Dark cloud. And it had hair which was like copper red, and eyes which were pouring fire. And at the top of it he had a trident in his hand. And in fact, people looking at him were shivering. So fearful was his form, his voice, and to top it, his roar. So he was called Vritra. Now we are coming to the core of what we have to see now. So Vritra, okay. Now Vritra is an enemy created against Indra. Okay. Now Indra, now he knows that an enemy is all set to attack him. So what he does? He goes to Lord Narayana. Brahma he cannot go because already Brahma he has lost face. So they all flee towards Narayana, Adipurusha. And Adipurusha, as he is now the ordainer, he says, okay, don't fear. First of all, get out of that fear. And I will teach you a method where you all can destroy this deadly Vritra, which we know it is too difficult to do. And he suggests a method. Now you go and approach this sage Muni, Rishi, Dadichi. We all have heard of him. Now he is the one who taught that Brahma Jnana to the Ashwini Kumaras, who are the restorer of health in this entire universe, Ashwini Kumaras. So the Ashwini Kumaras, in return for having taught the Brahma Vidya to learnt from Dadichi, they had granted Dadichi immortality, that you are not going to die. Okay, so Lord Vishnu tells them, Indra and his team, go and beg Dadichi. We want your bones, powerful bones, so that we can make a weapon out of those bones and fight against Vritra. So they all go now, and then they say, what do we do with the bones? He said, don't worry, Vishwakarma will be there. He will make a powerful weapon for you known as Vajrayudha. And with that you can kill Vritra and come back to glory. Okay, now they go. As usual, again pleading in front of Dadichi. And that old man is there. He says, see, we all know that death is going to come one day or the other. But if I say, give me your life right now, who will give anybody's life? Whatever it be. Nobody is going to give life like that. So you are coming and asking me where I am blessed with immortality. You are telling me to give my life now? What is this, Indra? Now again the Devas, they are literally on their knees. My Lord, you are a great man, full of love and compassion for those who are suffering. How can you speak such words? So this conversation goes on. Then Dajiti says, you have trapped me with an argument which cannot be disputed. I know a man who cannot help those who are in trouble does not inherit the higher worlds. That is told in the Shastras. So I am prepared to die for you. He's a really compassionate man. So he agrees and he sits in Samadhi and he says, now I'll give up my life and rest is your job. Do whatever you want with my body. And there Indra, he calls the great architect Vishwakarma, and the architect makes a Vajrayudha, and finally the Vajrayudha is ready. Now comes the combat between Indra and Vritra. Now you must be remembering, Vritra is the demon which came out of the Yajna Kunda as a Virodhi to Indra. Okay, Indra Virodhi. So he has come to kill Indra now, right? Okay, now he is there. Now mounted on his favorite elephant Airavata. Now what to say, he has got that Vajrayudha with him. Seated on his Airavata, he sets out to fight with Vritta. So led by Indra, there are so many other Devas who have travelled from various parts of the universe, cosmos. They have come there. And Vritra is also no less. He is also standing with his great army. Now where is this happening? On the banks of river Narmada. A dreadful battle is now about to start, and there's a lot of solicitation of spectators. It's like houseful kind of a situation. All the heavenly, the skies completely filled with spectators. Now Asuras, you have this Namuchi, Shambhara, Hayagriva, Puloma, Vishwaparva, Heti, Praheti, Mali, Sumali, from the sides of the Asuras. And then again on the side of the Indra, you have the 8 Vasus, 12 Adityas, 11 Rudras, 4 Pitris, 49 Agnis, 49 Maruts, then 10 Vishvedevas, and many more and many more and many more. Now the battle started and it was frightful. This time the Devas were not affected by the astras of the Asuras. Everybody had that confidence. See, now that scar thing, positive aspect. Array, we have that Vajrayudha, which Lord Narayana has told us to do it in this way, and exactly we have, so that confidence is there. They were not affected. They stood firm, unaffected by whatever was happening. So now the Deva gang was slowly gaining an upper hand. And the Asuras were abandoning that battlefield and running away. Now seeing this kind of a demoralization which had happened, Vritra got angry. He is a very powerful demon. He got angry with his men. He raised his voice and said, Hey, listen to me, hey Asuras, all of you. Death is something no one can avoid. Once you are born, you are certain to die. Death comes in various ways, but eventually it does come to each and every one. When such is the case, when you know you have to die sometime or other, is it not right that you should stop and consider about this death for a moment? When death, which is unavoidable, brings fame and a name and a good place in the heavens after this life on earth, is not death then desirable? Nobody is ready to listen to him. So abandoning this kind of a situation, and they just turn back on this battlefield and they run away. Now it is given only to that chosen few that you should not be afraid of death, considering it but a necessary, it is, you have to come to at one point the end of life. But whoever, small group was still remaining, they also did not listen to him. Then Vritra then turned towards the Devas. He knows now I cannot convince my people. And he spoke in anger. He said, what is the use of harassing these poor Asuras who are fleeing away from you? It brings no credit to you. If you hurt those who are running away from you in fear, no credit. If you are really brave, come, face me and see if you can fight with me. So it is like what army you have, I explained about the Devas. Here all the mighty soldiers, they all ran away. So Vritra sent up a mighty roar, and it really sent fear into the hearts of the Devas. Now he had a trident. He raised it, and Vritra entered the army of the Devas single-handed and began to destroy it. Now Indra did not sit quiet. He threw a huge mace at Vritra. Vritra caught it with his left hand and he broke it, and he flung it on that elephant of Indra, which is that Airavata. It was so harsh, the elephant went back, retreated a few steps, and of course wounded by that mace. Now seeing his opponent in trouble, that is Indra in trouble, Vritra did not use the mace again. Indra was getting ready to attack him, and then Vritra laughed at Indra and said, it is unfortunate that I am fighting you. I am fighting you. You are a great sinner. You killed my brother, your preceptor, your guru, and that old Brahmin who was bent on doing good to you. I will run my trident through your heart and thus clear the debt I owe to my brother who is dead. He says this. Then why are you not trying to hit me with the Vajra? He is now provoking him. And you, by any chance, are you afraid of me, Indra? Afraid that you may fail? And now he starts further telling, this Vajra of yours has been fashioned from the body of a great man at the behest of Lord Narayana himself. See, now this is a Asura Rakshasa talking. It owes its power to Dadichi and to the sanctity which has been bestowed on it by Lord Narayana. Indra, use this Vajra on me. Wherever the Lord is, there victory will be there. Know that. For one will think on the Lord and rest my thoughts on him. If I am killed, I will only be giving up this sinful body. I am not grieved. Use your Vajra on me, Indra. Are you afraid that it will prove ineffectiveness against me? He continues. Are you afraid that the Vajra will fail you like your mace did? Do not worry. This Vajra which was blessed by the Lord will not fail you. And he says, you are sure to kill me. See, this is happening in the battlefield now. The enemy is telling, you are sure to kill me. Otherwise, normally they say the other way. Indra was standing like one amazed by these unexpected words of the enemy. What is he saying? Narayana and that the power is there because of Narayana has ordained this. So these were the sort of words one never expected an enemy to speak. And the entire army was listening as though spellbound to the words of Vritra. All the devatas are listening. Vritra continued. As for me, now this here it's going to go subtler and subtler. He says, as for me, I have set my mind at the feet of Lord Narayana. He is alone on the other side. I have already set my mind on the feet of Narayana, and I will find release from this body which is not a bondage. I will reach the state where yogis attain because of the tapas they perform. This Lord, when he loves his bhakta, does not give him the wealth of the three worlds. Do you know why? He's telling this to, Vritra is telling to Indra. Because always Indra is after wealth, no? Do you know why? He knows that wealth is the cause of hatred, of fear, mental pain, arrogance, quarrels, unhappiness, and extreme fatigue. See, we all have experienced in our life. Whenever it comes to wealth, all these are free get-alongs. So now, Indra, believe me, the Lord grants freedom from all these and more. The thrill of his gifts can only be realized and cannot be described. A wealthy man can never know it. Suddenly, Vritra lost all thoughts of the battlefield and of his surrounding. See, he goes in that state of poise. His mind went to Lord Narayana and he said, "O Lord, please make me the servant of your servants. I don't want to be a servant. Servant of your servants. Make my mind think only of your qualities. Let my voice sing of only your greatness. Let my body perform only such actions which are dear to you. I want you, my Lord, and there is no desire in me for the realms of Brahma or the state of Dhruva. I am not looking for any power or position. I do not want to be the emperor on the earth, nor do I desire to rule the outer worlds. And I do not want moksha, nor do I want proficiency in the many yogas. Lord, I am aching for you like a little bird crying for its mother bird, like a tethered calf aching for the mother cow, like a woman who craves for a lord who has travelled far from her to unknown countries. I am caught up in this whirlpool called birth, which is samsara. Please grant me freedom from it. Let me love your bhaktas, because that is the sure way to become dear to you. Because of the veil of Maya, which you have thrown in my path, I am attached to my body, to my wife, my children, my home, and many other possessions of mine. Please withdraw this veil and help me to break this attachment to the things of the world. Sorry, it's already 7:40. I lost track of time. Thank you. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Together we offer today's Jnana Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord to seek His grace, mercy and blessings. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartham Shri Krishna arpanamastu idam namma om tatsat. Okay, Hari Om. So we meet next week, and then now you'll see how Brahma Jnana is given over here. So that's what one of the most interesting aspects which we want to look at. Okay. So be it anywhere, battlefield, or your home field, or your work field, wherever it is, your eyes should be on the feet of Narayana. Never think of what you are going to gain or you are going to lose, but be in steadfast control of His feet and form and His divine presence. Shri Krishna.
सर्वाधारोऽहमेव च आप्तकामस्वरूपोऽहम् अहमेवाहमव्ययः तापत्रयविनिर्मुक्तः देहत्रयविलक्षणः अवस्थात्रयसाक्ष्यस्मि अहमेवाहमव्ययः दृग्दृश्यौ द्वौ पदार्थौ स्तः परविलक्षणौ दृग्ब्रह्मदृश्यं मायेति सर्ववेदान्तडिण्डिमः अहं साक्षीति यो विद्यात् विविच्यैवं पुनः पुनः स एव मुक्तः स विद्वान् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः घटकुड्यादिकं सर्वं मृत्तिकामात्रमेव च तद्वद्ब्रह्म जगत्सर्वम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः ब्रह्म सत्यं जगन्मिथ्या जीवो ब्रह्मैव नापरः अनेन वेद्यं सच्छास्त्रम् इति वेदान्तडिण्डिमः अन्तर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योतिः प्रत्यग्ज्योतिः परात्परः ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवोऽस्म्यहम् ज्योतिज्योति स्वयं ज्योतिः आत्मज्योतिशिवो